Enfield Library.
Yeah.
So
There's lots of yellow ribbons there at the beginning of the war, if everyone remembers.
Exactly. Yes. Yes. They got the ribbons, and we went in, and just we met our friends there, and the church became our home for our hub, and we met very welcoming Enfield community through the Trinity Church, and then later on through other churches in the area. We get a lot of support from the church community, all different ones, the Baptist Church, and also other churches that help in different ways.
You're Orthodox, right? Most Ukrainians are Orthodox. Is that correct?
Oh, sorry?
Are you Orthodox?
Yes. Yeah. Most of Ukrainians are Orthodox, but we joined the services as well, and I think there is no in the close proximity there is no Orthodox church, but somehow it was not an issue. We just enjoyed. I think it became really like a social hub. And at the beginning, for example, there was no Ukrainian team in the council for the good 6 months. There was no actually dedicated team. And then the team was formed, and we partnered with the council's Ukrainian team. And actually, that's very important to mention, that the council is really trying to help Ukrainians. I listened to the conversation before, and yes, we try to explain to Ukrainians that yes, there is a housing crisis. There are thousands of people in line for social housing before it comes to Ukrainians. Yeah. And then obviously, like, the scheme was designed for like 6 months initially with the sponsors. And a lot of Ukrainians are now looking for their own accommodation, which is very difficult. Of course, when they go to Rightmove, there is no way. Plus, when landlords realize they're Ukrainians, even if they have some savings, maybe, sometimes not, it's different situations. But anyways, Ukrainians are asked to pay 6 months upfront, and then it's just insane. So people really struggle to find accommodation. But then the council, actually, what the council offers to Ukrainians on the scheme, they offer to become a guarantor, to pay their deposit, and to provide incentives to the landlords to let the property out to Ukrainians. So for that, actually, the council has funding from the government for this group of people. And it did work. I mean, there are different cases, but it did actually work. Either council, so the council struggles to find these landlords, but then there are agencies who work with generally with people on benefits, and then further, when they have the property, they can apply for the housing benefit contribution. So the rent is more or less paid. So we've seen successful cases, and we understand how difficult it is for the council.
At the awards, there's three councillors there. There's both MPs. Like, there's people of influence, the mayor. Like, you make sure that you find time to speak to them, and I hope that this raises your good works visibility. But you really got to acknowledge James. James is the one that promoted it. He's the one that originally wrote the thing. So thank you for that, James.
You know what? Good idea. Well, we got people from there. Look, any landlords out there at the moment who have got any property that they haven't got fulfilled because people can't afford it, give it to a Ukrainian family for the moment. Give them at least a roof over their head. What they've been suffering.
It's actually, I think it's quite safe for the landlord. Meaning, of course, there is a risk in this for the landlord as well. But I think it is quite safe because the council provides good incentive.
Yes.
Plus, the rent is paid from the housing benefits. So I think it's quite actually secure to let Ukrainians.
And this is a safe place. I was in Prague 2 weeks ago, and I landed. You're not going to like the sound of this, but you were in such a safe country because I landed, I got out of the tube in Prague, and there was maybe 200,000 people there. It was packed, big demonstration. And I said, what's this all about? And they were saying it was an anti-Ukrainian demonstration over there. So you are in a safe place, and we're very proud of that. And it's just the balance of how other people feel. It's crazy.
Well, no, I really feel personally that British people really provided a very warm welcome, because it's down to people in the end, and safe homes to Ukrainians. And I'm really grateful for this. And I think most of people who come to us, still we have 2-3 families, new families a week. Our group that covers North London is close to 2,000 people, and mainly we help families in Enfield, but there are other boroughs. We provide English classes, conversation classes. We have huge support from Rotarians, from Rotary clubs in Enfield, and generally from the local community.
Is anybody looking? Is anybody in your community looking for work? Because I bet you got some
Yes.
highly skilled.
Oh,
people.
yeah.
Because I look after somebody that is looking for carers, and full training is given to the carers. There's loads of jobs out there, so maybe we could start a notice board. I don't mind doing that.
That would be great. That would be amazing, because people, a lot of people found job finally. Because of course it comes down, we have very highly qualified, overqualified people coming, but sometimes language is an issue, and also generally if you come from a highly specialized field, then you may not, you need doctors, they would need their qualifications proved here anyway. So Ukrainians are treated like any other person that will come to the country, which I really like. So the Ukrainians are not treated as refugees. So you have all the rights for the next 3 years. But then it also means that you would need either your qualifications proof, or
maybe this is something we could work with James and do. A jobs board would be quite fun. I just in the sake of time, and I cannot wait to meet you on Friday. I cannot wait. There's 2 heroes that I think have said yes. I'm not sure who the other one is, James. But look, really recognition to James. We're going to move on with some different stories. Hey, James. Oh, he's back. He's gone.
He's gone again.
I was tailing my bike up in Enfield Town, and I noticed that there was a new sign, and it said this car park will only be cash only. And we put up a survey. 99% of the people that have answered the survey have said this is a very bad idea. James, where are you standing on this? Well,
he's frozen.
But where do you
say that again, Gary? I'm back.
It's the non-cash. It won't be cash. So they're talking about converting all the pay and display car parks to app only.
Yeah. No, I think I was the one who broke the news about that.
Yeah.
You were, yes.
And it's been one of the most read stories on our website. Yeah, I don't quite understand the rationale behind it. The council's saying it will save money, but I think the amount of money that it will save them is pretty small.
It's confusion. I mean, I sort of, you normally sort of bank holidays, I'll go down to Brighton for the day. It's lovely down there, and you get to see all the things. And I always park in one particular car park there. And last year when I went, I book it on the same app, but when I got there, the signpost was for a different app. And then you start panicking. Well, am I covered? Am I going to get a ticket afterwards? That's the biggest problem with all these apps. There are so many companies.
Well, I was in Walton Abbey just last week. It was so easy. I parked. I paid with my phone. That was it. It was so simple.
So there's a bit of an update, because Michael Gove, who I think is, he's the Secretary of State in charge of this. So he's basically instructed councils to allow people to use their change, their cash.
Yeah.
I don't know how that's going to be enforced, when in Enfield's case they basically already made the decision, and if they're already sort of ripping out the facilities that to pay by cash, I don't know how they would reverse that decision.
There are sort of some reasons they can't justify it for car parking, but for something. So obviously we're getting new banknotes with His Royal Highness's face on it, and they're going to have to reprogram all these, you know, self checkouts and things to recognise the new note. So there is a lot involved in that, but that's not going to affect car parking. You know, it's simple answer: put money in and just have contactless. Just simple
I
for
think
people
it's
like myself.
just another kick in the teeth for retail. Like, it's really
It
difficult.
is.
Did I read somewhere that the council run tennis courts are under some kind of pressure? Did I read that somewhere? No.
Yeah, we did a story on tennis courts. They're introducing. I think that some of the council-run tennis courts, not all of them, some of the council-run tennis courts in the borough are currently free, but that will change. So there'll be a charge for using them. But I think that's going to be a way to then invest in improving tennis courts. But yeah, there's charges that are going up and being introduced all over the place, and it all seems to be happening all at once, you know, because it's April, it's the beginning of the new financial year, and just everything's going up, isn't it? It's ridiculous.
I mean, you know, just look at that. If they're spending £500,000 a month on just keeping people housing, you know, what could that £500,000 go towards? You know, other services.
Well, James, you know, we're a positive show, so I'm going to try and find something positive to talk about. The art in the skate park, Edmonton Skate Park. Is there something good going on over there?
Yeah, this skate park, if anyone knows it, like you've probably driven past it on the A10, but it's a bit of a neglected skate park, and I've done a story before about it was sort of falling into disrepair. I think some repairs have been made, and now sort of the council seems to be paying a bit more attention to it. And there's this art project Shea Press is leading, local artists. I think it's trying to get people involved, young people involved in helping to sort of brighten up, you know, a community facility. So the details are in the story I've got on the website or in the paper.
This one made me smile. That plastic plants in LTN boxes. That one.
I just saw that.
No one's taking any
responsibility.
No, it's a bit of a mystery there.
It's
Yeah,
aliens. It's got to be aliens.
The whole point of plants is that it's helping reduce the carbon
footprint. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess what the council's discovered is that, like, you know, these sort of they call them sort of planters, these big boxes that have plants in them. They're very easy to, when you first install them, to make them look lovely, and then all it takes is like one winter and then they look terrible, and then the council then has to spend more money on sort of the maintenance to keep them looking nice. So they, at the moment, because we're just coming out of winter and we haven't quite, spring is still sort of in its infancy, a lot of these sort of things look pretty rubbish at the moment. And then I think someone's just been like, well, I could just shove some plastic plants in there and it will look great. And I'm sure that's the answer.
James, are you aware of Enfield in Bloom? Of course you are. I'm sure you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, that's all run by volunteers. They would go and do this.
Yeah, why not sponsor these things?
Yeah, I sponsor local churches.
You know, sponsor a box.
That's
probably a solution. Yeah, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, and then just do that.
It shouldn't be too difficult, should it? Really?
Everyone. You know.
Danny's back. Danny, if you wanted to rent a 2-bedroom flat in Enfield right now, what would the average price be?
Anything
a lot of depends, but
16, 17, 1800 upwards.
Oh,
yes.
Crazy.
Is there a deposit involved? What's the standard deposit?
Deposit is normally 5 weeks of the rent. So if you just
if a
over a month's
says,
rent,
I want 6 months. We just
no, you can't. There's a legislation now. You can only pay maximum of 5 weeks maximum rent. So it has to be 5 weeks or less. So yeah. So
you've heard it.
But yeah, you can pay rent in advance. That's a different matter. But deposit has to be 5 weeks.
Think about that. You know, minimum wage £10.45, as I think that's now kicked in. You know, that's one person's almost entire wage gone just on rent.
Yeah,
it's
that's the reason. That's the reason we got the homelessness crisis.
Yeah, exactly. It's utter ridiculous. You know, I was one of my things, or one of my bugbears, where I would, if I was in charge, I would put a percentage. I would say you cannot charge more than X amount, depending on the value of the property as rent.
The thing
So
is
when-
that
so
the
when I
landlords
first-
don't have the incentives.
Sorry,
Mm.
when I first moved to London, I'm just thinking back when I first moved to London, which wasn't, well, it was sort of 14 years ago now, but we got a 2-bed flat for around £900
Yeah.
a month. It's crazy.
Crazy.
Why the
Yeah.
banks don't do? I mean, you could make a nice little earner as a bank. You know, you must get all these repossessed properties rather than auctioning them off. Why not just be a bit, you know, set up a little division and be a landlord?
I don't know. Who knows? Well, we're gonna just, as we approach the end of today's program, James, I acknowledge you so much. I love the fact that I got my my newspaper first before everyone else. I got a digital copy. I got a tote bag. Like, I am a massive fan of this. Danny, you're going to spend any advertising spend, this is the place to be. They're so
We'll
lucky
do your
to have
deal, Danny. We'll do your deal.
Definitely, man. Definitely.
I will be plugging that on the evening. So can I just tell you about the evening, and you guys can
Yeah.
tell me what you think of this. So the doors open at 5:30. You come in and you're greeted with a cocktail or a mocktail, and then you're given 1 or 2 color armbands. So if it's a green armband, that means you're there to party and you don't mind talking business. If it's a red armband, it says, look, leave me alone. I'm only here to party and I don't feel comfortable talking business today. Now, I am trying to encourage people to network and open up those channels and start breaking down barriers, because entrepreneurs, charities, they do such great work. And you just heard the heroes. So you've gone from there. You're going to get checked in, you're going to get your armband, then you're going to walk along just a couple of steps, and we've had so many prizes for the raffle. I'm hoping to raise thousands of pounds for our charities, so hopefully everyone's going to buy a raffle ticket. As you move down, you're going to get a picture by the lovely Elizabeth Weiser. She's going to take a picture of you and then send it to you, and you put it on social media, and then you go around the bend and there's this thing called a photo booth, but it's a 360 photo booth. So you're going to have that. That's going to be really fun. And then it's a networking time till 7 o'clock. The awards start, and they're in no real order. But Bambos is he's an Orthodox. He says he's got to leave at 8. So all the ones that he'll present a few. And then he'll have to go. He's going to go off to church. Then I really struggle to find us entertainment. What would be right for a business corporate event and a community event? It has to be somebody that lives from Enfield. That was really important to me. So I reached out to our most famous magician, who hasn't quite confirmed yet. He will be there. You know who the most famous magician in Enfield is, Danny? Who's on Britain's Got Talent?
Go on.
He's called Mark Spellman. So he is coming, but I don't know if he's going to do us a few tricks. I've got this most amazing guitarist. She plays acoustic guitar. She's been in the entertainment. And my singer, poor Maria Evangelou, wasn't well, so she had to back out at the last minute. Then we're going to do the finale. There's a few surprises in the awards that haven't been announced yet. And then it's a big party till 1:30. Woo! How's that sound?
Sounds really good.
Well, I'm dead excited. I'm making awards as we speak. I've repurposed some bits to make these awards, and I hope everybody likes them.
Is it like Blue Peter Awards, and
Yeah,
like
that's it, the Blue Peter Award.
you've stuck these things like some toilet roll.
I truly have. But when I went into there's a timber yard on the Hertford Road. It's 170 years old, right? I walked in there, I told them what I was doing, and they gave me some offcuts of some wooden planks. So I'm so grateful to them. So I'm really trying to be environmentally friendly with these trophies, but they're going to look nice, I'm sure. So I have full
confidence.
Sorry?
I have full confidence they're going to look amazing.
I hope they don't fall apart when you walk out with them. So we see. I'm going to spend the day doing a Blue Peter stuff. So in the last 10 minutes, Andrew's just joining us to do the sport. Well, we're going to find out what we're going to do at the weekend, and it's a wrap. It's a real wrap. Andrew, is he there?
He's coming. There he is. the man, the moment,
Morning.
the myth.
Andrew, come just in the nick of time. You're going to do the sport, and then we're going to see what we're going to do at the weekend.
I was just listening. I've been listening intently all the way for 45 minutes. I thought, well, let the guests do their thing. And James and I spent an incredible evening last night at Enfield Town Football Club with one of the greatest rhythm and blues bands that you can imagine. Played half an acoustic set, Cinelli Brothers. It was incredible. We sold out. I think I persuaded James, who is a very busy man, to try and get there, and I think it was worth it for him. So hope that's true.
Great.
James.
I loved it. Yeah.
So yeah, you haven't really given James the platform he deserves today. But hey, you got a busy show on. So
I hope he comes on again
yeah.
this month.
So yeah. So I've got James knows my views on these wretched. I noticed you mentioned it earlier in the show. These parking machines that are being ripped apart in Enfield. It's the bane of anybody who has no idea about technology like me. And for older people, it's an absolute scandal because if you don't have the app on your phone, if you don't have a mobile phone, you are absolutely screwed. But this is really important because I discovered a way that you can actually get around it. But you have to go, listen to this. If you don't want or can't have the app, you can get scratch cards from Enfield Library. You have to pay, obviously you have to pay for them when you pick them up, depending on how many minutes or hours you want the scratch cards to be. So I picked up half a dozen or so scratch cards, the first of which I'm using today. But I think James is right. It's so counterproductive. I just don't know what they think they're going to achieve by it. So I really needed to throw that into the conversation because you can get scratch cards and, some of you may have used them before. You put the day, the hour, the minute, roughly when you think.
Haringate's got them.
Yeah. So, but they're not publicizing the scratch cards. They're publicizing the fact you've got to have this wretched app on your phone, which I can't make work anyway on mine. So
I'll write an update story next week because I want to get the council's view on what Michael Gove has said, and then stay tuned.
That's all very well for Michael Gove to say that, James. But what are they going to do? Suddenly put the parking things back again? Reinstall?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if they've actually ripped everything out at this point.
No, they haven't. They've just put signs up saying it's going to start.
Yeah. What they've done is they've actually stopped the machines from working, James.
This is a subject close to my heart. I don't know if you know this, but when I stood as a councillor, I put no thought into it. The ticket machines in Enfield Town, this was in 2010, I think 2011. The ticket machines were there and they suddenly changed them because of the Spurs. They said that Spurs fans are parking in Enfield Town and they're taking up all the time. So they changed them. So they spent £2 million on these parking ticket. They were sophisticated and they could do the number plates. But guess what, Andrew? They weren't sophisticated enough for private number plates. So they bought another system and that one cost 2.5 million or something ridiculous. And then in the end, that one didn't work or someone didn't do their due diligence. And then in the end, they ended up with the ones at the beginning, wasting millions of pounds. And I was so angry. I walked to the Civic Centre and I put myself down to be an independent councillor. That's what started my political career. I was so angry.
I didn't know that's the background to what you do. It's very interesting. I mean, I'm really
get prepared to run again, Gary.
I'm more left than I am right, and it's a tricky one because I don't know. I'd love to be a councillor and make a difference.
I mean, yeah.
Watch this space.
I think you'd do very well, Gary. Bang on people's doors.
2026.
Yeah.
James, that's a great
Definitely.
It's a great idea, mate, if you could do that, but I doubt you'll get any joy, frankly. Anyway, hey ho.
You're in a hiding for nothing sometimes. So should we quickly do the sport? There's only a few minutes left of the show.
Look, listen, Malcolm knows this. Enfield Town have got 4 games left.
Yeah, 4 games. At least the last game's at home.
Last game's at home today. I can't go, but they're away at Horsham, quite a long way. Win today at Horsham, and they're virtually there. By there, I mean clinching a playoff place. Don't win at Horsham. Depends on other results, but if they beat Haringey Borough at home on Monday, back-to-back games to get Gary over the Easter weekend, even for non-league teams, then you know, they should be. I mean, we got a 4-point gap at the moment between the team that's 6th. 4 games left. All intents and purposes, 2 wins, I would think, would probably do it. But they're 4 really tough games after Horsham. Haringey local derby is always a lottery. Then the 2 crunch games, Bishop Stortford away and Averley at home, both of them also in the top 5. So it's real crunch time now, but everyone's very excited, but we're also a bit apprehensive, you know. So, and then the other, I suppose,
Augusta, stuff happening in the golf.
Well, I mean,
Premiership.
I was just going to say the golf. I mean, it's extraordinary.
Trees down.
I've never seen the trees. Normally, Augusta for the Masters weekend is balmy weather, balmy as in balmy with an L, not an R. It's normally beautiful spring weather. The birds are singing, the flowers are coming out. Yesterday, the storms were so bad it knocked down a whole succession of trees on the course. They had to abandon the second round of the competition. Can you believe that? So they're going to.
I saw the video and I can't believe no one was killed because it looked like the tree landed on the crowd.
Yes, very close, James. I agree with you entirely. I think it was a miracle no one was hurt. On the course, unfortunately, Rory McIlroy has blown it again. The one tournament he really is desperate to win, so he's not going to make the cut. But probably I would think an American or an Australian will win it. But I don't know what they're going to do, whether they're going to fit an extra round in this weekend or whether they're going to play an extra day on Monday. I'm not sure yet what they've decided. The cricket season started, county cricket season. You might have passed everybody by with the football and the golf. The cricket season started a couple of days ago, a new county cricket season. And well, as for the Premier League, Gary, 12 managers, 12 out of 20 have now lost their jobs in the same season. It's a record.
Would you ever do it? For the money, I'd do it. I'd be like Ted Lasso.
Lasso, yeah.
Yeah, everybody after watching Ted Lasso now thinks, oh, I can become a manager. It's easy.
There's only 8 minutes left. There's only 8 minutes. James, have you got any stories you'd like to focus on that we didn't cover?
I've got a sport thing that I wanted to mention. And Andrew, have you heard about the team that's going on an incredible winning streak?
You're not talking about the team we don't talk about in the borough, do you, or not?
No, Ipswich Town.
Oh my goodness! Actually,
eight games in a row.
Is it?
Wow.
9 clean sheets. I think it's approaching sort of 8 hours of football without conceding a goal.
I'm not having this. This is a very disingenuous response. You should be talking about stuff in your paper, not your flaming football team.
I
was just itching to mention it. I'm sorry.
I've got
James doesn't. Why don't you tell them about the kid, the golfing kid, James, in the paper? That's incredible. When we're talking about golf, it's a good. Yeah, it's phenomenal.
All right, sure. Yeah, on page 15, yeah, there's Freddie, isn't it? Freddie, the 10-year-old, and he's well, they reckon he's got a chance of making it as a pro. I mean, it's a very, very difficult thing to be able to do that, but he's what I found amazing was that this 10-year-old kid, he entered into the sort of the players' annual sort of club championship they have at Enfield Golf Club. So all the members of the golf club in the tournament. 10-year-old enters and he makes the cut.
Incredible. He's 10.
It's like, how does he do that?
How does he do that?
And also, that's a little bit embarrassing, isn't it? If you were in that tournament and you're like sort of in your 40s and 50s and you've been playing golf for 30 years and then this 10-year-old beats you. I mean,
it's small margins that win you golf. So like,
that's amazing.
There's only 6 minutes left. Danny, what are you doing at the weekend? Anything fun planned? I know we
just spending time with the family, chilling out, playing games with the kids, and we like playing like various games with the kids, card games. There's a couple of games on the TV, Jackbox TV and stuff like that. We just all have it on our phone, just doing loads of fun things really and chilling out really. So,
that sounds great.
Me?
Yeah.
Got to do some more clearing out, might try and clean the car. And interesting fact. You know how I love giving people interesting facts? Okay, it's only a quickie. Shoe sizes. Everyone knows what the shoe sizes are.
You're going to say what's the most popular, but I know.
No. But do you know what it's based on? Do you know what measurement is used? Why?
on.
Why is a size 9 a 9 and a 10? It's
good
not
question.
inches.
It's what?
It's not inches.
Oh,
It's barley corn.
it's
So
what?
it's barley corn. So if you've got a size 9 shoe, it means it's 9 barley corns long. That's how the
Wow.
sizing
I
works.
wonder
in the
when
UK.
that was started. How
Oh,
many years ago?
Yeah,
Barley corn.
but yeah, there you go.
Barley corn.
Barley corn.
That's incredible. That's
Yeah.
incredible.
So next time you ask for a size 9, you know how to measure it now. People's feet. It's 9 barley corns long.
That is impressive. Andrew, tell us what you're doing at the weekend.
I'm going to. I hate to say it, a football match that isn't Enfield Town today. I can't get out of it basically, but I'm not going to miss another Enfield game for the rest of the season. Which brings me on very conveniently to Monday at Enfield Town, home to Haringey Borough. A must-see derby. Anybody who's not doing anything on Monday afternoon,
That is,
for goodness sake, it's going to be it'll be a fantastic atmosphere. We might have 700-800 people there. Tomorrow, I'm going to. There's a charity event at the Robin Hood pub that I'm going to sometime during the day. And I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, helping you, Gary, the weekend as well.
I should thank you because we're putting together, Danny, we're putting together a program for everyone that comes in, and it is a little bit last minute. We've got to get it to the printers by really Monday night to get ready for Friday. And thank goodness for Andrew helping me edit that. So thank you very much, Andrew.
So yeah, that's about it. That's about my weekend.
For me, I'm making trophies. I'm running around. I'm making this has gone bigger than I could ever imagine. So
It's amazing. It's amazing, Gary. Amazing what you're doing, Gary.
It's all Brooklyn and the people around me. So I just hope lots of green shoots happen because of it. It's an enzyme to something new happening, and then whether or not we do it next year is still out for debate. But why not? If it creates some buzz. So everyone have a lovely weekend, and
have a good one, guys.
Next Saturday we'll have
next Friday.
and
Next
we'll talk
Friday,
about it on the Saturday.
James, it'll be nice to see you socially.
Yeah.
I
James,
named all the do you know the tables? I said, please, I don't want them table 1, table 2, table 3. And the golf club said, well, what do you want then? I said, I want to name them Edmonton, Ponders End, Enfield Highway. And they were shocked. They were like, oh, you can't do that. You've got to have a table 1, 2, 3. I said, no way. There's Hadley Wood. And
Does that mean you have to be on the table to where you live?
The poor lady spent 4 hours doing the table plan. We spent 4 hours because there's the occasional person that's close. So, like, say you're in Bushhill Park, but you're really in Winchmore Hill. It was a nightmare, but I'm really glad I've done it. But watch out for that there, James. I won't give it away where you're sitting.
Okay.
James, make sure you're coming on Monday to break.
I am. I'm looking forward to it.
Break your
I'll see
jinx.
you there too.
Yeah, I'm going to break the jinx now. Yeah. I haven't seen the jinxes that I haven't seen Enfield Town win this season.
Oh my God! Wear your lucky socks.
Yeah, well, maybe I'll wear the same socks I wear to Ipswich games because that's working.
Oh yeah,
Good idea.
absolutely.
Very good
Sounds like
idea.
a good plan. Have a lovely day, everyone. It's a busy schedule for me, so I'm gonna love
And
you
we'll
all.
see everyone on Friday.
Yes.
See you guys.
Bye.
Have a good weekend. Bye. Bye.
Oh, doesn't want to shut, does it? All right, be like that if you want.